tuning into your body, entering your body with your awareness. Saturating your tissues with mind presence. Noticing your body, noticing the changes that happen as you become more present in your body. And conscious abdominal breathing. Very consciously releasing even more tensions on the out breath. Letting the arms hang completely with gravity. Just do a little warm up. Becoming specifically aware of the spine, rolling the shoulder blades, noticing what you're doing for the spine. Releasing the abdomen, massage the internal organs, and rolling the other way. And then rolling the shoulders together in unison. So the shoulders go straight down, back, up to the shoulders, forward and down. So a nice big rolling motion. It's natural to breathe in as you bring the shoulders back and up, and to breathe out as the shoulders come forward and down. And then, in fact, feel as if it's the breathing action that's causing those shoulder rolls. And again, notice what you're doing for the vertebrae of the spine. And the other way, so shoulders roll forward, up to the ears, back, and all the way down. And then breathing in draws the shoulders up and back. Breathing out draws them down and forward. Good. And then hanging from here and opening up from the sternum. So you straighten the vertebrae up from there until you have a gentle hanging back. Then opening up from the same place to the rear, basically between the shoulder blades. That opens, expands, open like a star. Sliding the shoulder blades apart, opening the back, rolling the elbows, shoulders forward. And then also connect that to the breath. So that happens because of the breath. So breathing in opens you, sends you back. Breathing out opens the back, sending you forward. Knees are bent. Lower back is flat. Good, okay. Heels close, knees bent, hip circles. Still hanging from the string. So weight is falling freely through the body. So these hip circles actually is articulating all the joints of the body. So the spine right up to the vertebrae of the neck. And it's actually addressing all the joints, even in the arms. Hanging loose, hanging relaxed. Everything will be touched by this rotary movement. And then the other way. And then specifically tailbone circles, so a little bit more specific with your intention beam. Drawing a circle on the floor with the tip of the tailbone. Notice how that articulates all the joints in the body. And then the other way. Okay. And then on one leg, on the heel of the other foot, so touching down very lightly on the heel, the leg you're standing on, you want that knee to be bent a little bit. And rotating the toes left and right to roll the ball joint in the hip. Let everything again be relaxed and hanging, so that even this is actually addressing and touching the other joints in the body. Exploring the range of motion. And then slowly transition. Again, make sure the leg you're standing on that it is bent. Your ting is mainly in the ball joint, so you can feel what you're doing for that hip joint. Release the abdomen, hang out, release, let go. Then switch the other leg again, this time on the ball of the foot, and knee in and out. Knee goes left and right, hanging out. Feel what you're doing for the ball joint. And slowly transition. So no weight on that foot that's on the ball. Standing leg is bent. Release the abdomen. And then once more back on the ball of the foot again, but this time rotating the knee in a circle. So the leg is going in a circle. And that will really propagate through the entire body. As you hang loose, open and relaxed, this will reverberate through the entire system, through all the joints, and rotating the other way. Hang, release, then open. Other side. Tailbone, lower back, it's hanging. Other way. Good, okay. Coming back to standing, hang out, breathe, empty the body. Let the arms hang with gravity. We'll do a few arm drops. So flowing forward, not up, forward, releasing, opening the shoulder joints. And whenever you're ready, complete free fall. Complete. So arm drops, just like arm swings, if you do them for a period of time, will completely change and open the body. Every time you drop those arms, it's another opportunity. How much can I let go? How much can I release? How much can I just let natural forces do their thing? Notice if there's any little bit of doing, try to really refine your awareness, your ting. See if there's any little bit of control there, or maybe holding back from dropping. It's complete free fall. Belly released really helps. Hang the hips. Process and a practice of releasing, letting go. Out to the sides. Be very, very conscious of the weight of the arms and the complete free fall of that weight. Scanning your body for any lingering tension or accumulating tension. Consciously release. Letting the arms swing in front, out, down. Now, of course, whenever we get into a little bit of more movement, there's more time and space for trouble to creep in. Of course, the word trouble is code for tension. So maybe I release fairly good at the beginning, but here I'm kind of doing a little bit. So I release, a little bit of doing to get them out, or maybe I release, little doing, I got to finish here. This is where I'm supposed to finish. So this is not only releasing the body, that's a huge part of the cultivation that we're doing, developing the ting, developing your inner sensitivity, inner listening, inner awareness gets finer and finer, where you'll notice things you never wouldn't have had the fineness of attention to notice it before. So again, for example, maybe at the very end, I'm kind of finishing it, going to the finish, going for the finish. That's very, very normal for most of us, is you get to the end point, finish point. So there's some doing there. Eventually, that'll seem like a very big thing. Oh, there's a lot of doing there. Where before you wouldn't have noticed it at all. So see if you notice where the doing is happening. No doubt there's doing going on. And staying vigilant, alert, aware, staying present, sharply present in the body, brightly present in the body with the mind. And then you'll start to notice more and more and develop that awareness more and more. Can you completely release the shoulder joints on that initial release and drop? Or maybe you're thinking of the whole movement, and so you're kind of haven't truly let go because you've got to get through this whole movement. Every microsecond is complete and whole. There is no other moment. You let go, that's all there is. There isn't the crossing, there isn't the finishing. When you're here, there is no other moment. There's just this crossing. There's no other moment before it or after it. How much can you be pure in that micro moment? Releasing the abdomen, hanging the hips. Try to notice any hanging on that release. Check the back of the neck, lower back. And then we'll add, actually, before we do a turn, let's add another swing. So 2 swings. Letting those joints release and open. Feel your elbow joints, your wrist joints, feel them articulate just through gravity and momentum. Of 3 swings before the drop. 1, 2, 3. And then a few swings without bothering to count, because that can be a tightness, an intellectual tightness, right? Got to get to that right count. So not worrying about counting, just doing a few swings, as many as you like, and then finishing with the drop, of course. But just completely letting each swing, each drop be completely free, completely released. See how released and free you can let your joints be. Continuing to hang the hips, release the abdomen. Okay, now softly bring your hands to the Dan. Let them hang and rest there on the belly. Conscious of deep breath work right in the bowl of the hips. Then on the out breath, release your arms and hands to gravity. Just let them swing just what gravity and momentum gives you, breathing comfortably, until they ever so slowly and gradually are brought to vertical stillness simply by gravity itself. And once they're hanging pristinely, with minimum effort, bring them back to sitting, resting on the lower abdomen. And then again, explore and enjoy a complete free fall. You're doing 0 of the arm swing. Whatever arm swing is there is what is naturally there. Minimal effort to bring it back. Rest for a moment. And then a complete just release. It's probably helpful to release on the out breath and just observe and participate with your awareness and just watching a completely natural swing, and that dissolving swing gradually settles to vertical stillness. And don't be in a hurry to come back here again. Really kind of just hang out and enjoy that stillness. When eventually it subsides to vertical stillness, reside there for a few moments to be with that stillness. Feel that settling into stillness. Just alignment and gravity working through your alignment. And being with the process of gravity. Then taking a bow stance, weight slightly on the back leg. And just as we did minimal effort to come here, and then a complete drop, have minimal effort to come into hold the ball position. And before we start moving, have a sense that it's a hair breadth, even less than a hair breadth, to just this happening. So minimal effort and then that complete release. It's just less than a hair breadth before that complete release. Your hands are just about to hang and drop. In fact, from here, we're going to let them drop a couple times. So from here, drop, be with that swing, hang out and breathe. Once more, minimal effort. Hold the ball. Nothing's collapsed. So the integrity of a vertical skeletal structure. Let the arms go completely with gravity. Let gravity work through these arms until they're vertically still. Slowly and minimally, like they're still hanging. The feeling is if they're still hanging, not taking away from that feeling of hanging. Very minimal ball, shifting the weight forward and back for stationary parting horse's mane. But they're just this side of still hanging and dropping. Notice where the tension accumulates, creeps in. Maybe you do fairly good here. And then coming back is where you engage the muscles and hold. Now, anytime in here, especially if you're feeling tension engage, do the drop. And spend some time there, a good number of seconds, a few moments where you're hanging, wherever you are in your weight shift, that becomes your standing posture, your standing shape. Wherever you are in that weight shift, that's now your standing posture. Let the arms hang as if we're just doing standing, or we simply just did this. And then whenever you bring the arms back into somewhat of a shape or movement, try to keep the feeling that they're still hanging. It's hanging like ropes. And do the same thing for the abdomen. Release the abdomen. Can you hang more freely, more openly, spaciously, even as you're moving? What's very good is simply noticing where and when you're not hanging as well. You're not really hanging as much. You're developing your ting, and that will always lead to progression. So simply noticing where you're holding or not hanging, that's success. And then once in a while, especially when you're really noticing that you've moved away from that hanging, relaxed quality, then go back to physically just dropping and hanging. Breathe and bring remnants of that quality, sensation into your shape and your movement. And you can switch legs whenever you want. And when you switch legs, try to do it through that hanging quality. So let my arms just hang, let my bones just hang, bones just hanging, like from a Halloween skeleton, dangling from an elastic. Get a sensation, the sensation of gravity, sensation of the vertical alignment, and take that feeling into an arm shape or movement. And it's like you'll just take the briefest of thoughts, intention to let the arms hang again. And sometimes, in fact, do let that occur. Do the same thing with the abdomen. And then eventually, and you can try this here today as well, eventually you can get the same result of physically doing this. Release, okay, physical release more. You can do that just with your feeling and your intention without actually having to do this eventually. So when I notice that I've tightened a little bit, come in a little bit, I've lost that hanging freeness, lost that hanging openness, lost that hanging naturalness. I notice some of that has been lost. I can do it simply by reconjuring, remembering that feeling, that quality. And then I can have it happen through my body, just like I'm doing it physically. Try that, but that takes a little longer. To some extent or another, we have to do it physically. But eventually, we just do that by our feeling and get the opening, emptying of the body. So everything's hanging in space. It looks like my arm is up. It has the same hanging openness feeling as this. You're less than a hair breadth away from the arms just dropping, hanging. Try to clarify your posture so there isn't a commensurate drooping with your hanging. Open, aligned vertically, hanging skeleton dangling from the elastic. Now, this is going to be tending to bring even more tension in, of course, so you accept that and shine the light of your awareness to notice the tension that creeps in. We take that into stepping, moving, parting horse's mane. Of course, tension is going to tend to creep in when you stand. So just notice it and do the best you can to release it. And then what you can do is, again, at any point, is you can stop and hang. So when I stand, at any point, again, you can drop the arms 2 or 3 or 5 or 6 times. Minimal effort to get back to where you were. Continue. So at any point, especially when you're standing here, you can be practicing that releasing, dropping at any point and bringing that sensation quality back to where you were, where you left off. But bringing some stepping into it. What I'd recommend is that you do those arm drops a few times, at least a couple times in one step. So, for example, I start to stand, oh, tension hooked in there. So probably at least a couple times in each full parting horse's mane. And then once in a while, if you want, you can do a full movement for a step or a few steps, and just notice how much you can stay with that quality of openness, freeness, lightly hanging, and how much tension does creep in. But don't be afraid to stop at any time and go back to the arm drop. Then you can bring more of that quality into the rest of the move. Let's try that with fresh knee. Release the abdomen. Once in a while, reminding yourself of what it feels like. Let gravity work completely through the arms and the body. Oh yeah, get that sensation, that quality, that feeling, and then carry that feeling, that remembrance back into the movement. Let's try a little bit of Repulsed Monkeys. Notice when you diverge from just hanging out with gravity, letting gravity freely work through your structure. That's a moment of success when you notice that. And do your best to come back to that remembering of the feeling. And also be willing to just, again, let the arm drop and swing again to get that feeling more directly. And let's come, be parallel, hang out, release, natural swing, minimally coming back, resting on the abdomen. Feel the complete resting here, complete resting, not holding up, complete resting, and then complete releasing and dropping, just like we did before. And then when you're ready, some stationary cloud hands. Notice how I'm starting very, very, very small. If I go from here to full position, no doubt you're firing a lot of stuff, pulling in, pulling up. So let yourself be very, very, very minimal. It might just be a hint towards cloud hands. You're maintaining that quality of free fallingness, hanging, open, vertical stillness. Then if you venture towards a larger shape, larger movement, more towards that traditional shape, just notice when and where you tighten and move away from that quality of vertical gravity working. Just notice when and how much that happens. And eventually you can intend that back to here without perhaps actually physically doing that. But again, don't be afraid to do this. This is part of the study. So this is just as important. In fact, right now, I mean, for development, this is more important than cloud hands or parting horse's mane or brush knee. The Tai Chi position, Tai Chi move, that's less important than the work we're doing now, than these drills and these exercises. What do I mean by that? Well, you could be doing brush knees, you could be doing cloud hands, or in fact, a set of Tai Chi. But if you're doing it from a normal body, or from your normal body when you're busy at work and you're still frazzled or still tight, Tai Chi isn't happening yet. So all these conditioning exercises we do allow Tai Chi to happen. So we're changing the body, opening the body, releasing the body, changing the quality of the body. And that's what Tai Chi is about. And Tai Chi then is able to work through that more compliant body. If I just did a set of Tai Chi and I'm relatively tight and condensed, frozen and hard, like most people's bodies, or if I've had a hard day, Tai Chi can't really work through. It's like sunlight can't get through the heavy clouds. So we need to clear away the clouds, clear away the debris, so that healing light can shine through, that healing energy can shine through. Or that ice needs to melt before the water can seep through and before the water can move. So we're melting the body, opening, melting the body, clarifying the body, clearing the body, emptying the body. So Tai Chi can happen. So cloud hands isn't the important thing. It's just another vehicle, cloud hands, brush knee, an additional vehicle, additional shape to work the Tai Chi qualities and principles.
So I'm noticing, ironically, I don't know how much time we have left. Oh, that when I lower my hand is when I have the most tension.
Sure, yeah,
Like
because
that eccentric contraction to rather than just letting it go.
we're controlling it.
Yeah.
Because if I drop it, oh no, lost control.
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
That's totally normal. That's really good awareness too. Most people won't notice that. Well, let's just finish then. Hang out, breathe into the center. Each out breath is a releasing breath. And let each releasing out breath clarify and open your structure in your body so gravity can work purely through those vertical lines. And as you breathe out, let those arms release, hang, and swing ever so naturally. Hang out and breathe. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Brad.
You bet.
Good
Bye.
to see you all.